The sun hung bright over Ụmudiọka, the echoes of drums bouncing through the morning breeze, when suddenly, splash, bam! Three young women burst out of the old dye shed, shrieking, slipping, sliding, and stumbling into the village market. Amara, Oluchi, and Chisom, once beautifully dressed, now dripping from head to toe in thick blue-green dye. Their hair a disaster, their clothes unrecognizable, their faces pure humiliation. Oluchi slipped on a puddle and fell into a basket of plantains. Chisom tripped over a goat, rolled and stood up wobbling. Amara tried to hide her face, but dye dripped into her eyes. The villagers watched, mouths open. Children ran from one end to the other after them, pointing and laughing. Even the chief's old goat stood, baffled, and in the distance stood Adesuwa, frozen in shock. This was just the beginning. Days before, the entire village was preparing for the Grand Ofala festival, a celebration of unity, harvest, and cultural pride. At its heart was the weaving competition, where the finest fabrics would be displayed before chiefs and elders. And as usual, everyone expected Adesuwa to win. Adesuwa lived in the edge of Ụmudiọka, near the flowing river that whispered against smooth stones. Every morning, before the sun rose, she tied her wrapper tightly, fetched water for her mother, swept the compound, and greeted every elder she met. Ututoma, Mama Ebele. Good morning, Papa Okoye. Let me help you carry that. Her beauty was the kind that made people pause. Smooth ebony skin that glowed like fresh palm wine. Eyes soft and kind. Hair braided with coral beads. A calm, graceful walk. A gentle smile that warmed even strangers. But her true gift was hidden inside her weaving hut. Inside her small hut were three large looms, built by her father, each carved with ancient Igbo symbols. The room smelled of dyes, palm oil, and dried hibiscus flowers. Adesuwa's fingers danced. She threaded indigo and coral pink. She tightened borders. She pressed the loom pedal with a steady rhythm. Tack, 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 a music of its own. Her fabrics were so beautiful that mothers saved for months just to buy a small piece. The patterns told stories, strength of womanhood, journey of the sun, water spirits' blessings, unity of the village. Even travelers from other villages whispered, the girl from Ụmudiọka. Her hands were touched by the gods. But while most celebrated her, some hearts grew darker. Among the young women in the village were Amara, Oluchi, and Chisom. They were not bad girls, just consumed by something poisonous, jealousy. They hated how everyone praised Adesuwa, hated how elders adored her, hated how people admired her, hated how she won the weaving competition every single year. And what annoyed them the most, she didn't brag. She didn't flaunt. Her humility made their envy burn hotter. One afternoon, as they watched Adesuwa demonstrate weaving to children, Amara hissed, "Look at her, forming angel." Oluchi folded her arms. "She thinks she's better than us." Chisom's voice was low. "If she wins this year again, Oh, I will scream. Their jealousy united them, and jealousy whispered wicked ideas. Weeks before the festival, Adesuwa began weaving a fabric unlike anything she had ever made. A royal blue cloth with gold rays, stretching from one end to the other, like the sun rising over the river Niger. The center held a diamond shaped pattern representing courage. The borders shifted from deep navy to bright sunlight yellow. It shimmered. Her mother would peek in and whisper, "Wham, this cloth will shake the world." Even passers-by stood outside her window just to watch. This was the fabric the jealous trio chose to destroy. One evening, Amara noticed Adesuwa carry water from Mama Nkem. Her weaving shed was left open. She left it open again. She smirked. Oluchi pushed the door. Her masterpieces inside. Chisom whispered, "Let's end her winning streak." Their wicked idea was simple. Drench the fabric in strong dye and ruin it forever. The dye shed was dark but filled with vats of rich colors: blue, red, yellow, green. The trio dragged the fabric toward the blue-green dye vat, giggling wickedly. But as they lifted it, a mouse ran across Amara's foot. She screamed. Oluchi panicked and pushed her. Chisom tried to help, but all three slipped and fell straight into the vat. Splash! The vat shook violently, pouring dye everywhere. Amara resurfaced with dye, dripping from her lashes. Oluchi gasped for air, her wig floating nearby. Chisom spat out dye, horrified. The more they tried to climb out, the more dye splashed over them. They looked like human plantains dipped in stew. The door burst open. Out they ran, screaming, slipping, and falling. The market stopped. Mama Ifunanya dropped her tomatoes. Children screamed in laughter. An old man shouted, "Chineke! Spirits!" A goat fainted. A hen laid an egg out of shock. One of the girls tripped and fell into the pile of gari. Another ran into a fish seller's bowl. The third collided with the chief's advisor. The humiliation was legendary. By evening, the whole village knew. The elders summoned them. They confessed everything. The chief shook his head. "You wished to destroy someone who has done nothing but good to you? Jealousy had made you foolish." Oluchi burst into tears. Chisom hid her face, while Amara trembled. Their punishment was firm. For 1 week, you shall remain stained as a sign of your actions. You shall help clean the market daily and serve in the homes of the elderly. Humiliation, reflection, and growth. Adesuwa was the only one who didn't laugh at them. Instead, she brought them soup, she brought them food, and she said gently, "I wish you had come to me. I would have helped you weave your own cloth." Her kindness melted them. Even Amara, who swore never to like her, whispered, "Why are you so good?" Adesuwa smiled softly. "Because a good heart is more beautiful than a fine face." Drums echoed through the air. Masquerades danced through the streets. Palm wine flowed. Children dressed in beads, while women cooked jollof, egusi soup, and roasted yam. And the weaving competitors prepared. The trio could not compete. Their hands were still shaking. Their pride was broken. But Adesuwa, she wove another masterpiece in only 2 days. Her hands moved like magic. The entire village gathered in the square on the festival day. The chief wore his red cap. The titled men held ivory staffs, and the women were dressed in bright wrappers. The competitors displayed their fabrics. But when Adesuwa's cloth unfurled, a gasp swept through the crowd. It glowed in the sunlight, each golden line catching the breeze. Even the chief stood up. "This is art," he said. And when it was time to announce the winner, the drum roll began. The winner of the Grand Ofala weaving competition is Adesuwa. The crowd exploded in joy. Women, children, and men danced and raised their hands. Adesuwa covered her face, overwhelmed. Her mother hugged her tightly. "May blessings follow you all your life." After the ceremony, the three girls approached her, still stained, still ashamed, but humbled. "Adesuwa, we wronged you deeply. We don't deserve your forgiveness." Adesuwa took their hands and squeezed them gently. "Your hearts were clouded, but now you see clearly. That is enough for me." Tears ran down their faces, and in that moment, jealousy transformed into friendship. In Ụmudiọka, the story of the three dye-covered girls became a legend told among children around fairy fires for generations. A lesson carved into the memory of the village. Beauty is not the glow of the skin, but the light in your heart. Jealousy only stains the soul, but kindness washes everything clean. And Adesuwa, her name traveled far beyond Ụmudiọka because true beauty always shines. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.